Hello, it is the 31st of August at 3 minutes past 8, and this is the final edition of 31 days of live streaming in August. We have got to the end. We have interviewed some fantastic people, and I'm going to show you just a few clips from those in the next few minutes. And it's been an absolute blast, I can tell you. And we'll see how we get on. But the first thing is, and this is the last time I'll be doing it, we have to do the obligatory intro. So here we go.
I want to be there and baby dance the night away. I let my hair down if I want. Don't you just get tired chasing fame and being pretty all the time? Doesn't sound like fun. You can do better. Let me show you what a good time looks like. You can do better. You can do better. Let me show you what a good time looks like. You can do better. I dare you to be wilder. My shoes off if I want. Let yourself be free and maybe you will find that there is more to life than being pretty. Honey, let's just face it. Baby, let your head down, be a little wilder. Baby, kick your shoes off, you don't have to hide it. Baby, let your head down, be a little wilder. Baby, kick your shoes off, don't hide it. I don't fit into your box, beauty queens without no flaws. You can do better, I dare you to be wilder. I don't fit into your box, beauty queens without.
So here we are. Try that again. Here we are, the very last day of 31 days of live streaming in August with me, Phil Croshaw from Geeky Group. And it really has been fantastic fun doing this. Bit of a chore at times, bit of a challenge at times. And as we always expect with live streaming, which is what I say to everybody and to you all, there's an element of jeopardy and uncertainty. We've had internet going down. We've got my mum phoning me on my phone because I didn't put it on silent. We've got all sorts going on. Even on the last night, we've got all sorts of things going on. What I'm going to do tonight is just to finish it off, and some of you might be watching this live and some of you will be watching it on record and replay in effect, which is perfectly understandable because it's late. It's 7 minutes past 8 on Bank Holiday Monday, and I would imagine that most of you are enjoying yourselves, not doing live streams. But I'm going to just play you just very quickly a few clips from the various people that I interviewed, just as a kind of a thank you, really, a recognition and a thank you for all the people. I think there's 12 in total that did the live stream interviews with me in this August. And I really appreciate their time, some fantastic little insights. And remember what I always say on the live streams, it's about the 4 I's, about information, ideas, inspiration, and insight. Okay, so hopefully that's given people at least one of those 4, if not more of those 4. So let's just start off then with just showing you a few clips of the first tranche of interviews that we've done on this show, and hopefully you'll enjoy this. Here we go.
When I started as well, I started it for passion and for a purpose. There was never any profit in terms of people. If I had £1 for every time I was asked the question, well, how do you make money? I get that question all the time, as the business is growing. And I wasn't thinking about money in that sense. I knew I had to make some money, but that wasn't my driver.
It's true though, isn't it? That then the rain comes, and we get a bit of a battering like we've been going through recently. You know, our business is shaky. We're stuck at home with somebody we're perhaps not that sure about anymore. You know, our finances are insecure, or we can't see our elderly relatives. All those things, all the security, we spent a lot of time being careful about building up, and that all gets hit by a tornado.
I think we were thrown into it. It was a cataclysmic change, and I do think it's one of the things that we will embrace moving forward. As I say, we've always done the telephone element of it, but we'd never before done video. We'd never worked remotely before, and you know, we didn't think that for a lot of our staff remote working would be possible. Well, this has just completely blown our world upside down and proved that you really can do this. And I think it's like any industry, some staff were reluctant, both clinical and non-clinical. This is new, and I think what we have to remember is doctors qualify to practice medicine.
They probably had a meeting or had a conversation, finished that call or that meeting, not agreed what the next step is, and got that in each other's diary.
Yeah.
Therefore, they're having to start the sale again. And people don't see it like that, but trust me, if you're doing that right now, if you're not agreeing the next step before you finish the step before, you are metaphorically laying the baton on the floor of your relay race and hoping that the customer's going to pick it up and go with it again. And often that doesn't happen because inevitably a lot of those buyers have got 1,000,001 things going on in their lives. So it's the same with me. I get sold to every day because of the nature of what we do now as a business. We're growing with scale. I get sold to every day.
And I appreciate there's a degree of desperation out there. I'm very lucky that I'm still working. Of all the things I've said prior, I'm so lucky, and I know that. And I've got family and friends who've recently been made redundant. People have been on furlough, have no idea what's going to happen. And I can't even imagine the emotional state that it leaves you in. Yes, you get to go out and have a walk every day, but you don't know what your future is going to be until a decision's made. And so I can appreciate that. So I think, yeah, just be proactive, do stuff, take control again. You know, even if it's just a little project. I've been doing illustrations from home, but just whatever it might be, just do something, take control of yourself, make it, and use that as your springboard into your next step.
The most favourable attack for cyber criminals is the phishing emails. So that's definitely, you know, increasing year by year. 91% of breaches last year were due to human error. So it was clicking on that phishing email. So I would say when you look at an email, if there's some kind of urgency or asking for personal information to pay now, 9 times out of 10, it is a phishing email. If you're unsure, don't call the numbers or reply back to that email. Go on Google and try to maybe call your bank directly or go to the branch, because they'll be able to verify if it's true or not. And they're like, wow, this person, you know, there'll be urgency. We're going to maybe shut down your account. You know, banks aren't going to do that straight away.
But it's not, you know, I wouldn't really go and help somebody write a digital marketing strategy, a social media strategy. It's not something I would do. I would help them look at the main components. If I need to make a referral, I can do that. It depends how big the organisation and what they exactly want to do at the end, and what resources they feel they can invest in it as well. Because sometimes people might want an all singing dancing strategy, but they really don't want to have any commitment or buy-in, and especially when it comes to financial investment.
I think what we found in terms of what we realised very quickly was that our route to the business market, which is what we ultimately wanted to deliver, wasn't there. But the culture of the business, which is bigger than workplace well-being, that's not what we will do, because people have lives. You know, some people are brilliant at work, awful at home. Some people are brilliant at home, awful at work. So we can't fix somebody 9 to 5 and then leave them on their own beyond that. But at the same time, we understand that a business also has areas of their staff that is beyond their responsibility and beyond their level of ability to care. So it's got to be lifestyle change and culture change.
Absolutely fantastic. So really, really warm thanks to all my guests on the shows: Dion Taylor, Susan Lee, Janine Croshaw, yes, Janine Croshaw, the wife, Richard Few, Tom Marshall, Ray Kundalia, Latif Badat, and Dave Scholes. Thank you ever so much, people. I really, really appreciate your time. And how precious it is. But of course, that's not everybody, because there's a few more.
And you need it. I didn't realize that I needed it. I didn't realize that I needed to perform. And luckily, this has given me a little bit of a rush, because this is some sort of a performance. I know it sounds weird, that, right? I know it sounds weird, and I know the audience may or may not be watching right now. I have no idea. But, you know, this is some sort of a performance.
2 years forward, where Zoom is the most, you know, again, you were ahead of the curve. This is, for me, it's not going to go away, it's going to improve. The very first escape room was some guy, you know, put some locks on things around his rooms. Now some of them have cinema effects, they have huge sets, massive budget, and you can see already the people that are playing us and learning to replicate what we're doing. You can see the money they're putting in. These online rooms now, they're not just, a lot of them are not just a guy with a camera on his chest. There's multiple actors in there. Someone's got the catacombs in Amsterdam, trying to do it there. Somebody else has got a prison, you know, running an old. So you can see what's happening. I've seen this before. I've seen the land grab. I've seen it in many industries over the years, because I do tend to get involved in fidget spinners that you go in, have fun, gain experience, and get out before you wear the scars, hopefully.
It's difficult. How do you create something when your work depends on you being within that zone with people? But for the rest of us, the amount of people I've heard saying, well, I can't do it. And then you look at their skill set and look at your business and their business, and I've been able to say, well, you can do this or this or this or this or this or this or this, and then get stuck in this tunnel vision, and they're not actually thinking outside of the box enough to do it. Now, is that because they don't have drive? Is it because they're just stuck? Because I know in those times where I felt down on my luck, where I've been in a sinkhole of depression, if it gets to the point where I think, look at me, I'm not going to be able to pay my bills if I don't do something, I'll get out of that hole. I will find a way to get out of it.
I think the regulation of those emotions and just the levels of emotional intelligence are certainly rising. But I think that there's not a lot of self-reflection. You know, everyone has busy lives with short attention spans out there. There's, you know, this need for gratification, and when you make that decision to buy the thing on Amazon because you know you can get it in the same day, as you know from sales and marketing, people make decisions to buy based on emotion rather than rationale.
And we don't realise that, though, do we? We think we're making we think whenever we buy anything, we're convinced that we've thought it through, we've considered the options, and yet, as marketers know, certainly in places like supermarkets, we're lambs to the slaughter, aren't we, basically? Okay, so yeah, another 4. That's a very, very big thanks from me for Sam Fitton, Ronnie Carson, Taz Thornton, and Nathan Newman. And that's it. That's it for this year's 31 days of live streaming in August. I just hope that a number of people have watched this and maybe just been inspired to give it a go. Maybe been inspired or even considered the idea of using video or podcasting or audio material, and just take some risks and get out there and maybe live stream. Just start small. You know, obviously I'm doing 31 days in 31 streams in 31 days is a bit extreme. But hopefully those of you watching this will have got some value out of these shows. And that's it. I've done all I can do for August. I'll be back in September. Numerous podcasting and video guises. Some live streaming, some recorded, some audio, but just basically playing in the sandpit of media, which is a great place to be. So I'm going to say this again for the final last time. Thank you very much to my guests over the last month: Dion Taylor, Susan Lee, Jan Croshaw, Richard Few, Tom Marshall, Raj Kundalia, Latif Badat, Dave Scholes, Sam Fitton, Ronnie Carson, Taz Thornton, and last but by no means least, of course, Nathan Newman. So thanks very much for joining me, and I very much hope you have a great September. And let's just hope that the kids get back to school safely, because I don't think it's in anybody's interests right now for anything to go wrong on that front. I don't think there's any doubt about that. So I'm Phil Croshaw from Geeky Group. If you need any help or assistance with business development or use of media, such as what we've been doing in the last month, then please do get in touch, and I can provide you coaching and training and mentoring, consultancy, and all those usual good stuff. So that's it. I'm going to end the broadcast. Thank you very much indeed again, and have a great September. Bye for now.